What if I told you that random changes can turn total gibberish into hello world, but with the principles of evolution, it's not just possible, it's inevitable. Today we are diving into a simulation of natural selection, which strings to see how chaos becomes order and how these ideas can solve real-world problems. Natural selection is all about reproduction of the fittest. Here our organisms are strings and the fittest ones are those closest to hello world. Two things decide their fitness: how close their length is to hello world and how many letters match the target in the right spot. The better they score, the more children they have. As simple as that. We start with 100 random strings. For each string, their child is going to be exactly the same as their parent unless they mutate. About 2% might gain or lose a character, which may be either beneficial or harmful, and 2% might swap a letter or symbol to a random one. There are 95 symbols in total and only one of them is going to be right for each position. In addition to that, population size is going to be controlled. If it's too low, strings with the same characteristics will have more kids. If it's too high, they'll have fewer kids. Think of it like rabbits with limited food. Let's run it. Only after 16,000 movements we can see our desired result. By generation 20,000, most strings look like hello world. Our mutation rate is only 2% for any of the traits. In real life, this rate basically represents mistakes in gene replication, which is a source of all mutations. For example, human DNA has about 3 billion base pairs, and every time it's copied for a new cell, mistakes can happen, or in other words, mutation. In humans, this error is tiny, or 30 to 60 new mutations per person. Most are neutral, but some drive evolution. This mutation rate can change and vary across different organisms. In our case, it's going to be beneficial for our strings to decrease this rate when they achieve the perfect form of hello world. Over the long run, hello world with a smaller mutation rate will have more children. That's why we'll add another graph that is going to show how this mutation rate is changing over time and run this simulation with 100,000 generations. During the simulation, we can observe how constantly we have mutations which are not beneficial and instantly wiped out. Mutation rates are going down. In this case, we can see that mutation rate of letters was going down slower. This may be due to some reasons or just random chance. To check this out, let's run 50 simulations and check the averages of them. As we can see, average rates are basically the same line and move in the same direction, which means that there is no real preference to any of them. However, in real conditions, there is no perfect form of life, as the environment is always changing. That's why we'll try to change ours too, and look if it's going to be beneficial for our creatures to have very low mutation rates. Every 10,000 generations, we'll change our target word to a random one from this string. Let's see how our mutation rates are gonna change under these circumstances. can still see the level of mutation rates is dropping below 0.5%. However, this also comes at a cost, as after 200,000 generations, our average population starts to decline and starts becoming less efficient in adapting to new environments. This is a proof that natural selection is not happening for the good of the species. It is happening for the good of individuals. But when properly applied, evolutionary principles can be used for finding best possible solutions to any types of problems. Some people argue that something as complex as human cannot just happen due to random chance. It is too complex to be true. However, I would argue on the opposite side. Something so complex is very hard to engineer. Much easier way to create it is through a process which is similar to natural selection. Same process we can use in engineering, business, cybersecurity, and other fields. So stick to this channel to explore how natural selection can fix any type of problem.